Grab your machine guns, grenades and other weapons of mass destruction and get ready to kick some accurate ass once more in Lost Planet 2. The first Lost Planet was and still is one of my favorite games when it comes to blow a load of shit up with huge explosions and intense action. And this sequel follows these rules without exception. Keep in mind, as I got my copy of Lost Planet 2, I hardly haven't read any reviews of it. And after I finished the campaign mode and saw all the biased reviews from websites like IGN and GameSpot, I wasn't that surprised. You know, it seems that this game, along with titles like Bionic Commando, God Hand and many other overlooked games with an actual challenge and more straight gameplay, almost intended to get mediocre ratings at best. It's like when it's not non-linear like GTA 4 or not user-friendly like Halo or even Gears of War, it must suck big time. Especially when you see video reviews of people playing like absolutely train wrecks and saying, "Man, I've lost against this enemy because I shot him with a rocket launcher when he was standing 2 centimeters away from me." The definition of bad game design, absolutely unplayable, glitchy, etc, etc. What's even more disturbing is that many gamers are buying this crap without even using their common senses. I mean, it's only logical that when you are fighting against an enormous enemy, it's a better idea to keep some more distance. I mean, am I right or did I miss something? Well, anyway, let's talk about the actual game, and keep in mind that I'm gonna mostly talk about the campaign here, since I'm not that big of a fan of multiplayer online games like I used to be. The story here isn't really the strength of Lost Planet 2, but I knew that since some time now, and to be honest, neither did I care about it in its prequel, nor do I care about it in this game. Lost Planet 2 has a lot of Hollywood-style action, and therefore its storyline is like your popcorn action blockbuster movie of 2010. It's over the top, action-packed, and it works perfect for me. Graphic-wise, it looks like expected, brilliant, with almost no slowdowns, and of course, huge ass explosions. Sure, it doesn't offer the slickness of a Modern Warfare 2, but it has a lot of its own personality. Now I'm gonna talk about the main complaint that I've heard the most, the controls. I've heard stuff from totally broken to absolutely unplayable. I say it controls like the first Lost Planet, plus the ability to sprint. So let me ask you this, was it unplayable back then? Is it still unplayable now? What exactly is the problem here? Just look at me playing it. It's responsive and works very intuitive. Yeah, Lost Planet 2 doesn't have the cover mechanic like in Gears of War or in Dark Sector, but just look at this. I'm standing in front of a barrier and I'm ducking. Yes, by pressing the left analog stick. I'm dodging bullets, rockets, mosquitoes, cows on skates, bad game reviews from IGN, and so far and so on. You wanna attack someone? No problem. Just stop pressing the left stick and wow! Now I'm standing and I can attack those douchebags. You wanna dodge left or right? Press the left analog stick and jump to the side. Boom! Whoa, they almost got me. People, I call this intense action. The enemies as well as the team's AI are not the smartest in town, but they get the job done. If you need some thermal energy, your team will give you some of it, and if you're fighting against a huge ass enemy, they will help you. And speaking of huge enemies, here is just one.
It's big, very big.
Now keep in mind that this is just a boss from the first chapter. Later on we will have some more epic fights. This here is from chapter 3. Also next to chapter 5 and 6, my favorite one, but every chapter has its great moments with outstanding battles.
Now that's big.
As I mentioned earlier, I'm not a huge fan of online multiplayer games, but Capcom added a multiplayer mode in the campaign that you can also play offline on multiple TVs via System Link or on one TV. I've played the later one with my brother and we had a blast, and I mean a time-splitters-like blast. The screens are pretty small, but we got used to it and had, like in a single-player campaign, no slowdowns whatsoever. It's clear that Lost Planet 2 was designed as a multiplayer experience. Helping each other out in the heat of the battle is essential, and you really have to rely on your teammates. But if you wanna have the ultimate challenge, play the single-player campaign in the hardest difficulty, without any team members or bots. It makes Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox look like Kirby's Dream Land. But to sum it up, Lost Planet 2 is a sequel that has everything from the first Lost Planet and everything that made it so great, including much bigger levels with a lot of variety, more intense action, more badass VS's, an epic conclusion, and of course, much bigger A-crits.